purpose, uplift for the gift, uplift for the gift, uplift for the gift. This show is supposed to uplift, you know. There's so many issues that I can address right now and talk about. But that would go against my thread and my purpose of my show. I just want to help the world be a better place by thinking better. And a lot of you really need a serious overhaul of the mind. I wrote this poem called The Mind. I sit here wondering why my soul is in so much torment. Torment which I cannot humanly explain. Is it me or isn't it me? My mind drifts and drifts and drifts, but has not found that stillness. What stillness, you say? Oh, that stillness, as seen in freshly baked fluffy snow which is just fallen from the sky. The beauty it exuberates is compelling me to ask, why? I wrote that when I was a younger version of myself. You know, back then we weren't called kids at 25 years old, but today people are called kids at 30 years old, which is insane. But, you know, it's just, we have taken such a downward turn in this society, even amongst YouTubers who sit up here and some of them are so judgmental, and some of them are influence you guys in the wrong direction. They're influence you guys in the wrong direction. And I'm a little tired of it, because I'm not going to sit here and join the masses that think it's okay to be judgmental towards people, to act like they have all the answers to the world today. It's okay to have a discussion, but when you start influencing people's mind in the wrong direction, that's where the problem begins. And so now we have a generation of, I hate to say it, idiots out here. Sometimes you gotta wonder who raised these mofos. You gotta wonder who raised them. They sit up here, some of these people in the comments don't feel you deserve to have an opinion. What makes you think that you can have an opinion and no one else can? Are you guys sick? I think so. Everyone is entitled to an opinion. And I'm going to address the men folk here. Always in women conversations now. Always coming against a woman in the comments. Always talking about women. You in a woman conversation, but as soon as a woman come into y'all's conversation, it's a problem. So how y'all able to come into a woman's battle online and a woman can't come to a battle between you fellas? Can you tell me that? Some of y'all need to get out and start building, using your hands to build stuff instead of sitting online talking crap. And that's just my opinion. It ain't written in stone, but, some of y'all coming up here and talking about, what a Christian ought to do, what a Christian ought to be. And it's like the Christians are the most embarrassing entities out here right now. Muslims, they stick to what they believe. They stick to what they believe in. They know what they believe in. Some of y'all Christians don't even know what you believe in. You're sitting here trying to justify why up here online trying to justify why you went to a party. Like God told you to go to a party. I don't think he ever tells people to go to a party. So where are you getting that from? Well, most people that go to parties are not going to be a witness. I know when I was going to parties in my 20s, I wasn't going to be a witness. I was going to do whatever I was big enough to do. And so if I got shot or something happened to me in the club, then that would be on me. It ain't nobody else's fault. I've been in clubs that was shot up when I was living in New York back in the day. Yeah, it was a little dangerous. It was dangerous to be at clubs. And then as a young person, you're not thinking about the danger. You're just going to have fun. And I get that. But don't sit here and talk like, oh, I went to the party because the Lord instructed me to go. And see, this is what I'm saying. I'm not a good talker. I'm not a great talker when it comes to the internet, but I listen to a lot of YouTubers. And I respect, what's her name? Unbreakable Nina. I respect a lot of her views. But there's some views that she have I don't agree with. One in particular, mainly. But as far as YouTubers that come close to me and my beliefs would be Unbreakable Nina. I respect her channel, and she a lot of stuff she say I want to say. I just don't know how to say it. You know what I'm saying? But don't think it's not a thought process. Don't think I haven't said some of the things she has said in a different way. I mean, it's gonna take me a long time to get where some of these YouTubers are, because I'm no nonsense. I'm not gonna sit here and always be talking about celebrities. Let's talk about the average man. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about the average Joe and their struggles every day. Living from paycheck to paycheck. People make choices in life. And those choices could affect the rest of your life. That's why a lot of choices I didn't make back in the day, because I said, wow, this could affect the rest of my life. And even in my 20s, I was smart enough not to get into a lot of stuff. And I don't knock nobody for that, for getting into stuff. And the only reason I credit that to is having a strong upbringing. My parents were always saved. Well, then it wasn't always saved. Let me go back. My parents got saved early. Because, you know, as teenagers, they was out doing whatever they was big enough to do. But when they got into their 20s, from far as I can remember, my parents were saved. So forget about us hanging in clubs and hanging in the street. We didn't get to do that until we were like grown and out the house, or you know, grown. We couldn't hang out and go out. And if you did hang out while you were in their house, that door was locked when you got back in the morning. So you had to sleep in the car until it was time for my father. I couldn't get in the house, so he actually got up to go to work at 6 in the morning. So I was just stuck outside. Because that bar chain, whatever was on the door when I got back home after the club. So it was either stay at a friend's house, do or die. But my parents had a standard. Some of these parents don't have today. My parents had a standard. You know, we couldn't listen to secular music in the house. We couldn't do that. We had to go out. We loved to go spend the night at, you know, my aunt's house and all that, because we got to do what we wanted to do. And then come back and be Christian children. But yeah, you know, I'm being funny, but I'm being serious. Let's try to think better out here. You know what I mean? Give everybody respect. I remember with Dionne Warwick. I think, was her name Dionne Warwick? Yeah, Dionne Warwick. I remember what she said. Be kind to everybody. That's big. When she said that, I said, wow, you know, it is. I haven't been an angel. I haven't been a saint my whole life. Sometimes I have moods. I realize I don't feel like talking to you today. All right, well, this is not my day to talk. And I, you know, respect it. Don't take it personal, you know, but, you know, let's just try to be better in how we think and how we respect other people, because it's important, you know what I mean? Let's just try to do better. I'm not going to talk too long. I just thought I would get that stuff off my chest. I think we all need to respect other people's opinion and respect others. And like Dionne Warwick said, be kind to everyone, because you never know. All right? So, if I've offended you, I'm sorry. No, I'm not apologetic. If I offended you, I hope it's in a good way. But y'all be safe. This is the Thought Poet Laura Janelle. Get the books, Thoughts of a Rising Soul, Thoughts of a Dying Soul. THAWTS is spelled. And it's on Amazon. Let's go. And I got another book that just dropped called Who's the Bully Now? That is my children's book on bullying. Get the book. It will enlighten you. even as an adult. It will enlighten the children to actually know that there is a protection for them, even when they don't feel there's a protection for them. You are protected. God will protect you, even in your darkest hour. So let's go, y'all. Think better, live stronger, be well, and succeed.